Okay. So I'd like to move now where Carolyn joins me as my co-partner in, I'm not going to say crime, but the thing is that we've
in communication, co-partner in communication.
Communication. There you go. I like that. So we sent out an email right before the meeting. Excuse me, I need to turn off my timer. It was a quick one pager. We'd sent you out a 2-pager. It was a little more detailed as far as what we expect, what you should be expecting during the entire convention. And of course, the most important part is getting into the convention, right? And so that is the credentialing. And so we want to bring your attention to the fact, and I want to thank Dr. Salter for this, is that we're raising a health concern now, and that's in regards to COVID because it's coming back. And we're going to be in what's considered a super spreader event because we're going to have 5,000 to 8,000 people in small spaces moving about from all over the state. So just be safe. If you haven't been vaccinated, think about it. If you're feeling sick, think about it. Don't be uncomfortable. If you want to wear a mask, wear a mask. If you have any testing, do a pre-test if you have any concern, and then bring a test kit with you. But it's all personal behavior. We all trust each other. Most of us have all been vaccinated and boosted and everything like that. But at the same time, we just want to be on the safe side. So credentialing. Does everyone understand what credentialing means? It means that you're authorized to enter and participate as a delegate at the convention. And so, when you signed up to be a delegate, you had to fill out a form online and asked a lot of questions and everything. Well, they're double checking and they do all that just to make sure. And that they will be, when you check in with our booth, and all the Senate districts, all 31 will be set up. And so you look for Senate District 3 and on the floor, and you come back to our booth, and we'll have volunteers there. And in fact, we're asking for additional volunteers just to make sure we have some depth there and we can process people efficiently and timely. But when you do come in, you're going to have we're going to hand you a bag, and it's going to have some materials in it and everything, like your lanyard and all that. Double check, make sure the name and the spelling and everything is okay. But the most important thing when you check in is that you're supposed to do a ballot for the credentialing committee. You need to fill that out, and you leave that with us because we have to make sure that it gets submitted so the credentialing committee for the state candidates is formed and able to start working to do their work. All right.
Can I jump in there now?
Sure.
Okay. So only one person is filed for the credentials committee. The filing is still open until Monday at 6:30, I believe. If anybody would like to join, if we only have one person, then that should be pretty straightforward. And if we get a significant number of ballots in, and only one person on the ballot, that person will be it, and they will move forward almost immediately to credentials committee. They met last night and they are looking over all their credentials. So if you have a problem, Larry Davis from Henderson County, who's done it for like 24 years, will be there to help us resolve that issue. If you can't find if your name isn't on the credentials, we'll sort it out. We just had an episode where 2 people were left off, and we got that resolved yesterday. And I think that's all I wanted to say. Go on.
So we have a quick checklist as far as what's going to happen on the first day or on credentialing. So we have 2 major time periods, but on Thursday, it's 3 to 6 p.m. And so when you come in, you'll have a check-in procedure. Only you can check yourself in. No one else can check yourself in. So there's no proxies, no surrogates, no nothing. Okay. Larry Davis has graciously stepped up to help manage this process. And so he will be the team lead here. And any questions that come up, we're going to defer to him to manage and handle this. All right. So again, there's going to be if you're interested in volunteering, text either myself or Carolyn, and it will get you Larry Davis's contact information as well. We are handing out totes. And so Carolyn, I would like you to talk about the totes if you don't mind.
So this is the tote. Now I'm stenciling them to save money. So Michael and I have pulled our resources together to buy these totes for you because you are worth an investment. If you're a delegate from East Texas, you know the state party lost its sponsorship for totes, so Michael and I are doing it. So this is the standard tote that everybody will get. I don't know if it's mirrored or not. I hope you like it. I think it's really cute, and we're going to have stuff in it. You'll be able to pick up a program from the party as well as your credentials, and then we will have other supplemental materials in there that we think might be helpful for you, as well as notebooks and pens and don't tell anybody, but some candy. Yeah. So this is the tote for the county chairs. I only have 12. I could only get 12 of these. So the first 12 county chairs that show up get them, and they're really nice. So there's no food and drink allowed. But if you have a special health need, I don't think they're going to have water police from the Dallas Convention Center. So basically keep it on the QT if you do that. And our booth is going to be at the very back of the exhibit hall. I'm planning on having some balloons that say 3 on it up in the air so you can tell where we are from a distance. And that's all I have.
Okay. So yeah, the thing about the one reason we want to provide the totes, and of course, you know, the exhibit hall where all the vendors are going to be, they'll probably have totes there, but we would like you to be advertising for SD3. We feel that you all are important and it's worth getting the word out that we have a presence at the convention. So that's one way to do it. We have a little surprise there for you as well, but we're not going to give it away until you get to the convention. All right. So the next day is Friday, and that's our caucus day. And so that's an important day. The big thing is that we get organized within the room. We're going to be at level 1, room D175. Now, just double check and make sure when you check in that room has not been changed. And you know, there'll be access, and if there is a change, we will be in touch with all of you. But our caucus is from 2 to 4:30 on Friday, and we're going to have elections. And the way we want to do this is all the counties, the 18 counties and their delegates, they're going to be seated in alphabetical order. And then if you have not selected, the delegation themselves should elect a delegate chair. And they're going to be the ones responsible for conducting an attendance vote, you know, to know who's there during the voting, as well as collecting the ballots at the end of all the balloting at the end, and then they bring it up to the table in front, the tally table, where we will tally everything and then get the.
They'll have a tally. The delegation chairman will get a tally sheet.
Yeah, they'll get a tally sheet, but
right. And so you hand in the ballots attached to the tally sheet at the end of the session. Right,
but it's you know, if you don't have your full delegation, then there's some calculations that have to go on, but you do get your full delegation count. It's just how each one counts in regards to
Marco Arancha is providing an Excel spreadsheet that'll do those calculations for us. And Larry Davis again, and Dennis Teal, if we need him, because he's done it for like, I don't know, 100 years or something. They will help us get those fractions of delegates should they come into the mix.
So the way Carolyn and I are going to manage the caucus is that we're joint chairs, and we'll bring it in, we'll introduce everyone, get ourselves organized and ready to go. Then Carolyn will run the first elections, as far as making sure they run through the, people have the opportunity to give a stump speech, then the voting, and then then we'll move through until her election against Sharon Berry, because we're going to turn that over to or who are we turning that over to?
Dennis Teal.
Dennis Teal. That's
He's
right.
the longtime SD3 committee man for over 20. How long, Dennis? How long were you committee man?
Way too
Years.
long.
Too long. Yeah.
Like 24 years? Is that right?
About 27, actually about 25, pretty close.
Yeah. So, and the
Thank
reason
you for
we're
your
doing,
service.
and the reason we're doing that is we just want full transparency in regards to the election and everything like that. So at the end, all of that come up, we'll have Dennis managing all of that and the tallying and everything like that. So we know it's in very, very good hands. So I now, Sharon, do you want to offer anything else, or otherwise we'll open it up to the floor for any questions at this point in time? Does everyone have a hotel room or staying with family or friends? Okay.
Let me talk about COVID a little bit more. I thought I was going to talk about that part.
Okay.
Okay, so just let me bottom line it about COVID. BA 0.4 and 0.5, especially 0.5, is spreading in East Texas. We're seeing a lot more COVID in my office. And so please test yourself before you come. If you're not vaccinated, think twice about coming, because there could be a lot of people there that have it, are spreading it, and don't know they have it. So test yourself before you come. Don't come if you're positive. Bring a couple of test kits in case you start feeling bad. If you're a high risk individual, I'd highly recommend that you that you wear a mask. I will be bringing enough for everybody from my clinic. So just if in case you don't have one, don't worry about it. I will provide you an N95. We got them for free, and I'm just gonna give them away. And if you have any questions or concerns, I'm sure we can find somebody to help you.
So has everyone had the chance to go out on the Democratic convention website and just take a look around? So they keep improving it as far as information that they're providing. Their schedule is expanding. You can actually go to a detailed schedule online. If you don't have that, I will find it and try to add it to the chat before we leave. There's a map. It's a little convoluted map, but I'm sure that the TDP says they're going to have an agenda there with all the maps and everything on how to get around in the convention center. It's a big convention center. There's a lot of parties starting Thursday night, Friday, and or Wednesday night, Thursday, and Friday. So if you're in town and if you haven't there are mostly online invites, and you can get tickets, or they just want you to RSVP. So you can go where they are. I advise that you just we carpool using either Uber or Lyft to go to these events. If you haven't already signed up for the Lady Bird Johnson or the Lady Bird breakfast or the meet and greet at the beginning of the conference, the early bird tickets are gone. It's $100 to join either one of those. The Lady Bird Johnson is really good because we have some fantastic speakers. We're going to have Julian Castro at the first event, but we have Sharon, Wendy Davis, and Rachel Garza as our speakers at the breakfast. And if you haven't heard either one of them, they're both pretty dynamic. Let's see. Carolyn and I are your resources. Any questions or anything, please reach out to us. We'll try to get them answered as soon as possible. And before there, you have our phone numbers. Texting us is the easiest way for us to get to know that you're trying to reach us, and we'll get back to you as soon as possible with an answer. So abuse us in that regard as far as this conference coming up. Yes.
I'm sorry, it wouldn't let me raise my hand because it threw me out of the video. This is Jennifer Murphy-Dick.
Okay.
I'm disabled, as many of y'all know. Is there going to be a way for me to get my credentials where I'm not having to stand in line for a few hours?
Yeah, just text us and make sure that we have you on that list, and we'll take sure. When you're there, you still have to check in person, but you don't have to be involved in all of that. We'll take care of you. And the other thing is, make sure everyone, there's been a great question by Mike Strong saying, do we need ID? Yeah, it's good to bring ID. Texas driver's license is good enough, US passport, whatever but it has to be, if you go vote, you have to have an ID, right? So just make sure you have something with you. Any other questions? Oh, okay. Sharon, how are you? Unmute. There you go.
It's Larry that wants to talk.
Oh, hey, Larry. How are you doing?
Hi. Yeah, I'd just like to say that, I was former county chair in Henderson County for 10 years, and I'm married to this lady here who's been county chair for 8 years and is finally giving it up. But this is my 12th state convention, and I've also been to one national convention. But my job for the last 6 or 7 of these state conventions has been working in the credentials distribution booth. So when you arrive at the convention on Thursday at 3 o'clock and you're in the exhibition hall, I will be the one who is giving you your credential as a delegate and asking you to sign in. And if you are on the rolls, it's not a problem. I'll ask you, what county are you from? You say you're Angelina, and I'll say, find your name here on the list and sign in. And then I will give you your credential, have you sign the credential in my presence so that if it gets lost, it doesn't get to go to some Republican somewhere. If you are coming as an alternate person, not on the delegate rolls, but somebody who is substituting or proxying for someone else, you're going to need some written verification from your county chair, or have your county chair come along with you to verify that he wants you to be a delegate for your county. So I will be the first person you'll see officially at the convention, and I'll be giving you your credentials. So be glad to meet all of you at that point in time, and we'll be seeing you later.
I'm a little confused there, Larry, as far as if you don't have your information, you're not on the list, because we don't do proxies anymore. So
Some people may erroneously have been off the list, and
yes,
then Larry,
okay. All right.
Larry will have to deal with that.
Okay.
That's what we're talking about. There were,
If you're not on my list of approved delegates, I cannot issue you a credential without authorization from county chair of your county, because then it goes to the nominations committee and the credentials committee. And if you're not on the official roll of the delegates, it screws up the whole, credentials committee roster. So, we have to have a correct list of all the delegates. So if you're coming to substitute for someone else, or if your name was left off the list, or for some other reason you're not on the list of delegates, you're going to need to have your county chair come and verify that to me, or my assistant Lucia Butler, and then we will issue your credential. Otherwise, we're not issuing credentials to people who just walk up and say, I want to come in and vote. I don't know you from Adam. You're not on my list, so you're going to have some proof credentials.
well, one thing that Marco has told us is there's no alternate delegates and there's no proxies. So what's on the list is pretty much the list, unless somebody through an oversight was left off, or they're not actually Democrats and they got listed on the but they're hammering that out right now on the credentials committee, the early one, whatever that's called.
So Carolyn and I recently, we've been going, we received the master list, the final master list from the party last week. And we started going through it, and we realized there was a lot of information missing, like some emails, some phone numbers, precinct references, things like that. So I've gone through, and I haven't completed sending a new email out with this actual spreadsheet, but I did send out to all the county chairs the list of their delegates per the TDP. So there'll be an updated list. that goes there. So any of you check with your county chair. They will have that list with the information. And it's up to each of you as a delegate to make sure that your information is correct. But I've asked the county chairs to reach out to you so we can update our list so that Larry has that information as well, right? So for credentialing.
Hi, this
Okay.
is Ava from Jefferson County.
Oh, hey, Ava.
Hey, thank y'all so much for doing this. It's been very helpful and very informative. And we're really excited, and down here in Jefferson County, this is going to be a new thing for us since we have been split from SD4. Now we're SD4 and 3. So we're probably going to need some extra grace walking through this process, leaning on everybody's experience. We have quite a few people coming in. So I just wanted to hop on just to say thank you. This has been informative. We're excited. And Jefferson County is ready to get to work. And thanks Carolyn, and thanks Michael for your leadership.
There are a couple of, there's a couple other people that I wanted to thank besides Dennis and Larry, and that is Sharon Davis, Larry's wife. She was the Senate District 3 committee woman before Shirley Layton, and she worked really hard at this position. I just want to thank her. Also, Beverly Hatcher is going to be our parliamentarian, and Tracy Torm is going to be our secretary. But let me just say this, there's very little parliamentary procedure involved, and there's no minutes required because we don't actually take any action on anything. I clarified that with the state party, and all we have to do is turn in a tally. I talked to Dennis about this. If we have a tally, we're going to announce it. I think we're not really supposed to, but we're going to do it anyway. So, and just ask for forgiveness rather than permission, because I think everybody's going to want to know who won, rather than have 500 people go up and ask them who won the next day before the convention starts. Is that okay with everybody? Okay, good. Well, thank you all for coming. Call us if you have any questions. And if you have a special assistance need, let me or Michael know, and we'll put your credentials aside and make sure you don't have to wait a long time.
Yeah.
And please, county chairs, pass it on to your delegates that have any kind of special need. But we're hoping we're not going to have to wait for hours. I mean, we're hoping we're better organized than that.
Right. So on
That's it.
That's it.
Hey, Michael.
We are wanting to try to do something as a group. You probably want to do something as a county, but as a group, and when I say group, SD3, we don't really have anything planned yet, gelling, but if anyone has any ideas, that's good. There's a lot of parties, but we might want to go as a group to something. But the thing is it'd be great if there's a chance for us to all get to know each other a little bit better and share some food and drink. And so, just keep posted. We'll try to work it in somewhere where there isn't something happening. But
Michael Cooper had something he wanted to say real quick.
Oh, okay.
I was just saying hello and thank you guys for hosting us and taking care of us here in Jefferson County.
Oh,
Well,
it's our pleasure.
yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you for joining us today. We look forward to seeing you in Dallas.
Absolutely. Thank you all.
All right.
If there's nothing else, you want to adjourn the meeting?
Well, yeah, I can do that formally. Is there a motion to adjourn the meeting?
Well, we don't have.
I
So
know,
moved.
I know, I'm just playing. Okay, so everyone, thank you so much.
Good night.
And, we'll be in touch, and just coordinate with your county chairs because they're your lead right now as far as contact information and things like that. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Good night, everybody.
Thank you, everyone.
Good night.
All right. Thank you, everyone. We just finished That's unmute. We just finished. You got the tail end of our meeting. We just finished our meeting, but I let you in anyway. It's good to see you. Thanks for joining. I'll meet with you separately and let you know what's going on. Okay. All right. All right. Take care.